Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Road to 2000. Today I've got another game. This game is a very straightforward game, so let's get into it without any further ado. On this game, I started with the pawn to f4, the bed's opening. Then my opponent responded with pawn to e6. Then I responded with knight to f3, continuing with my opening. My opponent played pawn to b6. Then I played pawn to e3. Then my opponent played bishop to b7, attacking my knight on f3. Yes, it's on f3, which doesn't really matter because the knight is protected with the pawn and the queen, so I don't have to worry about doubling up my pawns. I can take back with the queen if the bishop decides to take the knight. Then I played knight to c3. Opponent played bishop to c4, to b4, sorry. And also this doesn't really do anything, doesn't pin my knight to the king because I can move it. There's a pawn that's covering that diagonal, so that doesn't really affect me any much. But I ignore that, and then I played bishop to b5, attacking the queen's pawn. Then my opponent played pawn to a6, attacking my bishop. Of course, I moved back to a4, which is a mistake. Probably the best move was to move back the other diagonal. Then my opponent continued with the attack. Then I played bishop to b3. Then my opponent continued with the development, playing knight to f3, to f6, sorry. Then I played pawn to d4, which is also a mistake. It's a miss, not a mistake. The computer liked it better if I played the other pawn to a4, but instead I played pawn to d4. Then my opponent played knight to e4. Then I played bishop to d2, protecting my knight, of course. Then my opponent took the knight. Then I took back with the bishop. Then there was that exchange there. Where I end up capturing with the pawn to c3. Then my opponent castled the king side, and I also castled the king side. Then my opponent played pawn to a5, looking to trap my bishop. So of course I have to open up space for the bishop, playing pawn to a4. Then my opponent captured, then I captured back with the bishop. Then my opponent played pawn to d6. Then I played pawn to c4. Then my opponent brought out their knight, playing it to d7. Then I played pawn to d5, looking for the exchange, which my opponent ignored. Then played knight to c3, to c5, sorry. Then I played bishop to b3. Actually, the best move was to play the queen here to d4. But instead I moved my bishop because I wanted to remove this double up bishop, these double up pawns here. Then my opponent ignored the bishop again. Then I played bishop to a2. Then my opponent played bishop to a6. Then I took the pawn on e6. Then my opponent took back. Then I played pawn to c3. My opponent attacked the pawn with the knight. Then I played queen to d3. The best move here was to play bishop to b1, but instead I played queen to d3. Then my opponent played pawn to d5 with the idea of me capturing, and then they can capture my queen. But of course that's an easy thing to spot, so I just played knight to e5. Then my opponent played knight to c5, attacking my queen. Then I played queen to c2. Then my opponent took the pawn on c4. Then I played bishop to b1, threatening a checkmate, which my opponent played pawn to g6, which is a mistake. The best move was to play queen to h4, but this is a hard move to find. It's not really that hard to find. You just have to look more, or to look properly to see this move, playing queen to h4. But my opponent played pawn to g6, which I took with the knight, which is a brilliant move, of course. Then my opponent made the blunder. The best move was to play rook to f7, because in this stage the game still has much to go, so playing knight to f7 really prolongs the game, and I have only have slight advantage in this position. But then my opponent chose to take, then the game from here was over. It's just mate in one. So that's how the game ended. So that's why I said at the start of the video, the game was straightforward. So there was no any tricks. So that's why the game played out. Thank you for watching. Please hit that notification bell, like, comment, and share if you can. Until we see each other again. Bye bye.